Breaking news. Thomas Frank tells Brentford he wants to join Tottenham to replace sacked Ange Postecoglou. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Thomas Frank has informed Brentford that he wants to join Tottenham, talkSPORT understands. Frank's camp have already held talks over terms with the Brentford boss, the clear first choice to replace Ange Postecoglou. The Dane guided the club to a 10th place finish in 2024-25, and Spurs will have to shell out if they are to secure his services. Frank has a hefty release clause in his current contract, believed to be in the region of £9 million. He also has a long-standing relationship with Spurs technical director Johan Lange. Meanwhile, Fulham boss Marco Silva publicly stating he will remain at the club next year has further boosted Frank's position as favourite to take the reins at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs announced the departure of Postecoglou on Friday after significant reflection and a review of performances from the club. Spurs said in a statement, "We are extremely grateful to Ange for his commitment and contribution during his 2 years at the club. Ange will always be remembered as only the third manager in our history to deliver a European trophy, alongside legendary figures Bill Nicholson and Keith Birkinshaw. The Australian found himself under mounting pressure in his second season at Spurs, despite many fans believing he had secured his future with Europa League glory. Victory over Manchester United in Bilbao saw the club clinch a first major trophy in 17 years as well as earning them Champions League qualification. But it clearly wasn't enough to keep Postecoglou in a job with Spurs enduring a disastrous domestic campaign. This is not a massive shock. We've been reporting it on talkSPORT for a couple of weeks now, talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook said following the news. There is a hefty release clause in his Brentford contract. I'm told that is in the region of £9 million, and Postecoglou got himself a bonus for winning the Europa League trophy, while the club will obviously have to now pay up the rest of his contract, which has 2 years left to run. So this is a big financial undertaking from Tottenham, but ultimately, despite the fact he delivered silverware that league form, finishing just one place above the relegation places, Daniel Levy has clearly looked at that and said, "Thanks for the trophy, Ange, but we have to go in a different direction." All roads at this stage, I think, very much lead to Thomas Frank. The 2024-25 season was historically bad for them as they recorded a lowest ever Premier League finish of 17th. Postecoglou's side lost 22 of their 38 league games, the most by any team avoiding the drop in the competition's history. Tottenham urged a Hijack £60 million move for Manchester United target. Brentford manager Thomas Frank has emerged as the favourite to step into the Tottenham dugout. Reputed journalist Fabrizio Romano claims Spurs are set to accelerate talks in the couple of days to appoint Thomas Frank, who is highly regarded within the Premier League circuit for the work he has done at Brentford. If Frank lands the Tottenham job, former midfielder Jamie O'Hara has backed the Lilywhites to hijack Manchester United's move for Brentford star Bryan Mbeumo. The Red Devils have reportedly agreed personal terms with the Cameroon international, who has expressed his desire to join Ruben Amorim's forces. However, Manchester United have so far failed to agree a fee with Brentford. The Bees have rejected Man United's opening bid in the region of £45 million plus £10 million in add-ons. The 20-time English champions have since increased their offer, one worth more than £60 million in a take-it-or-leave-it proposal for Brentford. However, Jamie O'Hara thinks Frank's appointment as the new Spurs boss could put them in a driving seat to swoop in for Bryan Mbeumo, given their excellent working relationship at the Gtech Community Stadium. If Frank gets the job, the Lilywhites should try hijacking Man United's move for Mbeumo. The 25-year-old is coming off the back of his best season in the top flight, netting 20 goals and registering 7 assists in 38 Premier League outings. The African ace was among the highest goal-getters in the Premier League this past season, forming an unbelievable partnership with Wissa up top for the Bees. Undoubtedly, Mbeumo would be a sensational acquisition for Tottenham if Levy can pull it off under the noses of United. However, with the player keen on securing a move to United despite them having no European football to offer next season, Frank could play a decisive role to change the Cameroonian's mind and lure him to N17 if appointed swiftly. Tottenham pushing to sign Sporting Lisbon star Morten Hjulmand. Spurs are reportedly pushing ahead with a deal to sign Sporting star Morten Schulman after missing out on Angel Gomes, as per Team Talk. Although the Lilywhites won the Europa League trophy last term, which helped them overcome almost 2 decades of trophy droughts, the Lilywhites have decided to part ways with Ange Postecoglou due to their dire performances in the Premier League. The North London club finished 17th in the league with 38 points, which is the worst finish and points tally in the club's history in the Premier League. So it is justified why they have taken this decision. It has been reported that Brentford boss Thomas Frank is the leading candidate to replace the Australian, while Marco Silva and Andoni Iraola are also on their wish list. Amid this situation, the transfer window has already opened and Spurs have been exploring the possibility of bolstering the squad to turn the situation around next season. Team Talk claim that Tottenham are planning to bolster the midfield department as Yves Bissouma displayed inconsistent performances last term, while Archie Gray wasn't at his best either. Angel Gomes was their primary target, as he was available for free, but he has decided to join Olympique de Marseille by snubbing Spurs. So Tottenham are now pushing ahead to sign Schulman, and Sporting want a fee of around £50 million to let him leave with his existing deal set to run until 2028. However, purchasing him won't be easy as Manchester United are also interested in him. Ruben Amorim already knows him, having previously worked together at the Jose Alvalade Stadium. Spurs also have alternative options if they fail to hire the Dane, with Crystal Palace star Adam Wharton and Real Betis man Johnny Cardozo among them. But the USA international is closing in on a deal to join Atletico Madrid. Schulman is a defensive midfielder by trait and is a robust player. He has the physicality to flourish in the Premier League, so he would be a shrewd acquisition for the North London club should they eventually manage to secure his service before the start of next season. Tottenham are stepping up their pursuit of Inter Milan defender Jan Bissek, with reports in Italy now claiming the club is pressing hard to get a deal over the line this summer. It has since been revealed that Tottenham Hotspur could be looking to raid Inter Milan this summer. Among them is Jan Bissek, who is said to be on the radar of Tottenham, with the Lilywhites eyeing defensive reinforcements this summer. The Inter Milan centre-back is valued at £34 million, and the N17 club are now said to be pressing hard for the German international this summer. The latest report comes from Calciomercato, who has now revealed that Spurs are not the only ones eyeing a move for the Inter Milan centre-back. It is claimed that other Premier League sides are keen on securing the services of the 24-year-old, with West Ham and Aston Villa all said to be monitoring his situation. However, it is reported that Tottenham are the ones leading the race for Jan Bissek, with the publication stating that the North London club are the side pressing hard for the centre-back's signature. Inter Milan are currently without a manager following Simone Inzaghi's exit, after the Italian side suffered a humiliation in the Champions League final against PSG, and the manager's exit is reported to be working in Spurs' favour. The report from Calciomercato also states that should Inter Milan appoint Cesc Fabregas as manager, that could push Bissek towards the exit. It has also been made clear that Inter are already looking for buyers for the defender, and that chief executive Piero Orsilio was in London recently to speak to suitors about the 24-year-old's sale. The potential of a swap deal between the Italian giants and Tottenham Hotspur remains an option, with Inter Milan reported to be admirers of Spurs centre-back Radu Dragusin. That wraps up today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with all things Tottenham, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for our latest content. Be sure to give this video a like and share it with fellow Spurs supporters. Let's grow the Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for tuning in, and as ever, come on you Spurs.